Connor, Jess, why don't you tell them what you're going to be talking about as it relates to effective branding?
So we're going to talk about how Tier 4 kind of gives you the training and the technology tools that you need to have like a really professional and memorable kind of social media profile. There's consistency. It almost has like the foundation of what a national brand would have. Those consistent colors and text, the professional environment, the essence of community, the essence of sharing information and expertise. So we created a little presentation to kind of outline some of those topics and then give you guys some examples. Connor, since you're completing the presentation, did you want to open it on your screen to share?
Sure.
Okay, so, we're all telling you social media is so important. Why? So I wrote down this little section here to kind of explain that you've probably heard a lot of reasons why social media can earn you more sales opportunity. And the reason why is that 79% of salespeople who use social media as a sales tool outsell those who don't. With a massive percentage of people already using social media, there's no denying that when a social media marketing campaign is properly planned and implemented, which is what Tier 4 is there to help you do, the results will get you your vehicles in front of more people, your personality in front of more people, your expertise in front of more people, which means a better chance of a sales and revenue for your dealership. Next slide, please. So one of the most important parts of that is you can get in front of everyone, you can get a big audience and community, but you have to have a consistent professional brand. And a professional brand is about making a full-time commitment to the journey of defining yourself as a leader in that community and how this will shape the manner in which you serve others. So if you are a leader in the expertise of knowing how to help customers struggling with their credit get a car, you're showing your expertise in that area and you're showing that you can serve them with that. So your professional brand should represent the value that you consistently deliver to those that you're serving, and you're showing that through your social media.
Yeah, and if I can inject something to that point, I mean, think about this, sales professionals, Tier 4 sales professionals. How long would it take you to tell 1,000 people what you do, why you do it, and why you're better than your competition? I mean, you're talking maybe months, right, to get in front of 1,000 customers. That's how you got to have the mindset for Tier 4. I want to use Tier 4 marketing to tell thousands of people what I do, why I'm better than the competition. And it's a huge opportunity, Jessica. I love what you just said. Sorry, keep.
Sorry about that. My screen was lagging, so I tried to exit out real quick. I'll go back, pull it back up.
Yeah, the more people you get in front of, obviously, the better, right? And it's funny how many salespeople want more opportunities. Everyone.
So for social media selling, there's professional content and there's ineffective content. We'll show you a couple examples of each. So here you can see Audra Stewart. These are two different posts, one on the left. While the first three are positive and they're motivating, that number 4 where it says spend zero time crying about how unfair the world is, that can be a little insensitive and maybe a little divisive towards your network. Whereas on the on the right, rather, you have a happier post, a more positive post. You can see Audra celebrating a new car sale with her customers. She has great engagement. You can see the 45 likes, comments, whereas, on the left, there's very little engagement. It's you want to avoid being insensitive and a little bit, I guess, divisive.
Connor, please, and keep this up for a moment. There's a principle in marketing called negative priming. Negative priming is when you focus on the problems, the issues, or the negatives, and it actually has kind of the opposite effect in terms of it turns people off to the experience. It makes them want to move away from it. It would be like if I was doing a pizza commercial and I held up for my pizza place, and I held up a pizza with a doggy do on it, and I said, hey, are you sick of doggy do pizza? Come buy mine. Well, now you're just grossed out and you don't even want to eat pizza at all, right? So that's the principle here. So I agree with Connor, what he's showing you guys, positive posts, showing the beautiful vehicle and the excitement of the purchase, that draws people in, whereas negative stuff, talking about problems, definitely is going to turn people off. Good stuff, Connor.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
in reference to this, what is your opinion on things like political statements, commenting on events of the day, good or bad?
I'm glad you mentioned that. That was in one of my list of things to cover. I would certainly avoid. I see that as kind of getting off topic of what it is your business is trying to promote. So that's really becoming divisive and kind of alienates your network. You're splitting it right down the middle. Whereas if you just stay on topic, you can broadcast yourself to your entire audience rather than divide it.
Well, that's you actually use the right terminology. As a salesperson, you need to be positively impact or a positive impression on 100% of your audience. And you don't know what side of an opinion your audience is going to fall on. So unless you're looking to pigeonhole yourself to selling to a specific political affiliation or whatever, I don't see the value in limiting your audience. So to me, I did not have the definitive expert answer, but just a gut feel of what makes common sense or not.
Well,
Right.
I mean, this is a really minimal example kind of to highlight what you are talking about. Like, it really comes down to what kind of community are you inviting your audience to join you in?
Right.
So if you look at that first post, I understand that it's highlighting how she works hard and how she's always trying to do better at work. But that last part, how unfair the world is. It's almost as if she's opening her door to tell her community, like, I work hard for you guys, but they might feel like maybe an inconvenience in a way. But this second post, she's representing the brand. She's showing a vehicle. She has the Kia sign in the background. She has her crown, which is part of her personal branding. And she was inviting her community to see this joy, this excitement, this motivation that she has and light in her for selling vehicles and inviting customers to come into that community with her. And you can even see that at the bottom of that post on the right there, someone even said, "Where's mine?"
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
And so like on the left here, which there's kind of a little bit of irony in that left-hand post, because, there's sarcasm. Today just can't get any better. And it's a picture of a broken fingernail. You want to avoid being pessimistic and kind of negative. I mean, you're not, as you can see there, it's like the engagement with that post is probably, like me and Jess spoke about, that's probably 3 of her friends that are just trying to, make her feel better and relate to her. But on the right-hand side, you've got Audra, being herself, having a bright personality, displaying the dealership, explaining how she loves her job, loves her life. Way more people are going to be drawn to that than the left-hand side where she's, explaining that it's a tough day. Like, everybody has a tough day. You don't really have to, you're not going to gain any traction explaining how tough your day is. But we're on the right, she's doing everything that she needs to do. It's a genuine smile and genuine happiness, as she says. She's got way more engagement on that post, comments.
I think the magazine that she's holding up has a lot to do with the
yeah.
engagement.
Right.
Likes. That's what I was just thinking.
Okay.
By the way, there is some value in being authentic if there was a challenge, but I would just check, if you are going to post something like that fingernail there, then you're definitely going to want to wrap it up on a positive note, but that's okay.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly.
But if it's focused, it has to be focused on her car sales. That's nothing to do with her
Right,
branding or anything.
right,
Like, if she was to do that, I'd be like, today was an awful day. I broke my nail, but this story happened in relation to the job that I did today. Like, make it into something relevant.
Right.
I broke my nail for a good reason. I helped
Yeah.
Mary get her first car,
Yeah, exactly.
Something like that.
And so while those were, some examples of what not to post, I also wanted to mention stale content. A lot of times we'll get in the habit of just posting a delivery photo with a very brief, limited backstory, informative caption that just says, congratulations, John, on your new car. And if you're habitually just, posting those photos, eventually your network is going to be kind of bored and not engaged with those posts. So that's where we want to go over some of the pro content level ideas. And I've got a few that I'm going to go over right now. So